Before we start, you guys will know me, I'm Jordan. I've been in this JCC for upwards of 9 years now, and I've accomplished a lot. A few disclaimers before we begin. If you do not know me, I do get emotional, so if I begin to cry, Matt's going to give me a nice big hug and get my spirits back up, so I apologize for that one. I do a bit of a potty mouth. Some of you guys might have seen that, some of the swimmers especially. I'll try and keep that as a minimum as best as I can. I do not live at the JCC, despite popular belief. 2 years ago I did. I had a bed in the back, but last year, I've been back home. And here we go. Dear Dolphins, no, I'm sorry. Okay. My story begins at Chile Day Camp when I was 7 years old. The aquatic director at the time was an older gentleman named Mel. Me and Mel instantly took a liking to each other. One day, Mel pulled me out of my pool and just kind of tossed me into the pool with the older kids. I came out of the water, wide-eyed. "What the heck, Mel?" And he goes, "Swim." So I did. Mel called out my mom and was like, "Hey Blanche, you gotta put this kid on the swim team." So she did. So that's upcoming school year, I started on the Long Island Express swim team. And it was a wide open experience for me. I had no idea what a team was. I was 8 years old, I was young, I was naive, I had no idea what was going on. There was one coach, her name was Gail, and she stuck out to me. And Gail taught me the basics of swimming, taught me the individual strokes, taught me about a team, and I loved it. And I thought I loved it, and it was cool to be part of something at that age. I had swim meets, I competed, I won, I came home with medals. It was exciting, it was awesome. Lo and behold, coming back to this team now we're coaching. I walked on to Hofstra roughly now, almost 20 years later, and the first person I saw was also coaching was Gail again. And I immediately went up to her and was like, "Hey Gail," and she was like, "Hey Jordan," and I was blown away. That now me as a USS coach can come back that many years later, and my first coach remembered who I was, and it was just a moment for both of us. Fast forward, many morning practices, weekend sacrifice for swim meets, many goggles and bathing suits ripped, straps broken, through all of it, and we arrived at the game changer, Jericho varsity swimming. My first year was all right. My coach was all right. My strokes and my times were all right. My experience was all right. It was varsity. I was like, cool, this is varsity, great. Had a cool year. Whatever. Next year, we were informed we were getting a new coach. We were all excited. First coach was New coach could be the beginning of who knows what. He was also the coach of the girls varsity team, so he had some experience. Not all of us knew him. First meeting as a team, and Coach Richard Stern introduced himself as the new head coach. My swimming career had officially begun. Until this point, swimming was something that I had gotten used to. It was a part of my life. It was a part of my routine. I knew it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was swimming. Saturday, Sunday, I was swimming. It was whatever. Coach Stern showed me how to live it, how to breathe it, how to beat it. And the next 3 years of my varsity career, that sport consumed me. It was everything I did. I was up before school, I was practicing. After school, I was at varsity. During the off season, I was at the girls' swimming, just getting a chance to know my teammates, getting to know my coach, just that much better. We were one big family, and Coach Stern was the face, the idea, the vision behind all of it, behind all of us determined and motivated swimmers. He was everything. I remember watching him coach and remembering how much effort and how serious he was through every single second of practice, through meets, taking notes, doing this, doing that. He had lineups upon lineups, outcomes upon outcomes, only just for one meet. He not only knew our top times, but he knew the other teams, all of their top times. It was crazy, it was psychotic, he was a madman. It was absolutely awesome to watch it go down, and it worked. He still is. Just wait.
Love you, Rich.
Sophomore year, we won our conference champs, and then senior year, me being a state swimmer, we came second, very close, what we would call just by a race, to our county champs. All things I never would have imagined, but thanks to Coach Stern, it happened. And I'm not sure if he knew the true impact he has, so I thought tonight would be a great time to show it. He happens to be sitting over there in the blue shirt. And so, Post-CERN, thank you for everything. You've been truly inspirational for me. I remember when his eldest, Noah, who was actually also here, was born. Last second we had an announcement that practice was canceled. So me and my fellow swimmers, we ran around school yelling, "The spawn of Stern, the spawn of Stern!" Just going all crazy. And what's also amazing is that I got to coach Noah for the last 2 years as part of a Dolphin. So that is coming full circle, so very cool. It's something I never would have experienced or could have even imagined. So it's just these little things like that. Moving on past my high school, coming to college, I was able to swim for a D1 school a very short period of time. Unfortunately, I tore my labrum, cut my career short. I tried as hard as I can. Year and a half of physical therapy, tried this surgery, tried doing that, tried that, but nothing was able to bring me back to that point where I was before the surgery. And it was heartbreaking, because swimming was something that I turned to. It was something that I had that I always could look to and grab. And to lose it, it was just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Between that and some other family things, I decided coming home would be the best thing for me at that point. I stumbled onto this JCC. I started off as just a basic lifeguard and slowly rose through the ranks. Started teaching, started coaching, all the way until where I stand now. At first, coaching was just kind of coaching. You have some kids that doesn't want to set, cool, whatever. It was what it was. Then one year, we lost champs by 9 points. We were all like, holy moly, we could actually do this. This is actually a thing that's feasible. We had no idea. Next year, 2014, we put some things together and we won by 3 points, which was like a shock to us. And that was the beginning of our reign. That was right around the time that Deidre stepped in. Deidre had a vision, she had experience, she had the knowledge. It was exactly what this JCC needed. Between her, myself, and the other coaches, we chatted, ran some numbers, played some ideas back and forth, came up with a game plan. And it turned out to be a pretty good game plan. Following year, unfortunately, my family and I, we lost my mom to a 6-year battle with cancer. It's probably the most awful thing I've ever experienced in my life, and will ever experience. It was just, everything was terrible, my year was terrible, nothing could really take me out of that. But there was light, and it was found at this JCC and at that pool, as crazy as that sounds. The overwhelming support I received from my fellow coaches, from Deidre, from even the swimmers and the parents, you guys, that was what brought me out of it. That was what kept me going through the whole thing. I put my entire life on hold during those couple of weeks where it was coming to an end, but I came to practice. I don't know if I practiced, if I coached or just sat there, but it was the one thing that I could turn to really get me out of that funk. And so it was just good to know that here I could find that. And again, the Dolphin swim team, the last place I would ever expect in my life, but it was my rock, it was my family. Through my time at the JCC, I've become a lifeguard, became a lifeguard trainer. I've taught kids how to lifeguard, and I've traveled to summer camps to teach staff from overseas how to be a lifeguard for their summer. I've worked with some of the best on the East Coast, cough, cough, Deidre. I have taught lessons of people of all ages, of all sizes, ranging from 6 months old to a 7-year-old woman that have been in a pool before for the first time in her life. I have worked with people from every ethnic background, from all walks of life. I've been invited to bar mitzvahs, to birthday parties, to sleepovers, to this, to that. I even have clients who now I consider my friends that actually live in India and Korea, and when they have vacation time, they travel here and they call me up. Hey, we're home for a week, can we do lessons every single day? I'm like, yeah, sure. They're spending their vacation to spend time with me, and it's just experiences like that which have made my time here just so much better. I've had the help of many turned this team into a very successful, into what it is today. And so I just want to thank my coaches for all that. They've been behind me this entire time, through all my craziness, through all my weird ideas, through all my missing this or not answering my phone, through all of that. They've been supportive, they've worked with me, and they've pushed me. And I pushed them, and because of them, we were able to make this all happen. But not only did they become my coaches, they had become my friends, and we've made lifelong friendships doing all this. And to me, it's super important, and it's very meaningful, all these connections that we've made. I also want to thank Deidre. You've been a lot. You've been my older sister. I needed to kick me in the butt. You've been my mom when I needed guidance. You've just been there for me. You've been my mentor. You've been my friend through it all. I couldn't have done what I've done without you. I've learned so much and continue to learn every single day because of you. So thank you to all you've done, just truly from the bottom of my heart. Dad, Evan, wherever you guys are, hey guys. You guys have supported me through a lot. You got to see the behind the scenes of me doing all my antics. I don't have a computer, so I've been using theirs this entire 6 years, fun fact. They have moved around their schedule just because I was like, no, we have a swim meet that day, or no, there's practice. They've really become part of this Dolphins for the team, so thank you guys for dealing with all my nonsense and all my crap. Sometimes there may have been no point, but there's always a vision, and just thank you for all of that. Coming next September, I'll be working as a mechanic for airplanes. I'm proud to say that as of May 1st, I finished school and I graduated as big thing, graduation, so yes, thank you, that means a lot. And as of last Friday, I passed my first out of 6 tests that I have to take. That is my plan for the summer. So just to top it all off, as you guys can see, my experiences have been made through certain people, and my goal this whole time is just to provide those experiences, give them back to all you guys, to stick to the sport, to just have that one thing you can look at, to always be there for you. And swimming has always been mine, so I hope that I've been able to open that to you guys, and I hope that you guys continue to stick with it and kick some more butt. So again, thank you for all the amazing experiences. It's truly been unforgettable. Thank you for everything.
How am I supposed to top that? With that, I think we're going to do our slideshow.